All right. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our special Zoom presentation this evening. My name is Don Thompson, and I want to just give you a quick introduction of myself so you know who will be presenting the information tonight. I've been with Legal Shield now for 30 years. I served in the field for many years, building a great team all across North America. And because of the success that I had in the field, they actually asked me to come in 2018 to be part of our corporate team and serve as president of our network division for the company, which is what I've done now for the last 8 years. I still have an incredible team all across North America that I work with and super excited to be with on a daily basis. And so today I wear two hats. One is someone that's built a very successful business within Legal Shield, which I'm about to share with you, and also as the president of our company, of our network division. But enough about me tonight. Really, what you came to learn more about is what is in it for you. What does this opportunity mean for you? What can these services provide for you and your family? That'll make a difference in your lives. So let's take a few minutes and talk about Legal Shield this evening. And I want to kick us off and just first of all, just talk a little bit about where we stand when it comes to how the world has changed. And I think we all agree that the world has changed forever. In the last 6 years, especially coming out of the COVID pandemic, and then now we're dealing with all the advances from AI and all the enhancements. I mean, there's just so much going on in the world right now. And what it's really caused people to do is understand that they can work from anywhere. That you no longer have to be just tied down to a stationary position when it comes to work. That people are figuring out how to generate income from wherever they are and really be able to live their life on their own terms. And what people are looking for today is they're looking for opportunity. They're looking for more time, but really what they're looking for is flexibility and independence. People are not afraid to work hard, but they want to be able to choose when they work, who they work with, and be able to prioritize what's really important in their lives around that work schedule. And anytime you're looking at any kind of business, you want to make sure there's a few things in place that make that opportunity truly an opportunity. And first of all, you need to make sure you're supported by a great company. You have outstanding products, that there's a huge opportunity with our compensation plan. So there's a real opportunity behind what it is that you're looking at. But you also want to make sure there's a system, because system is short for save yourself some time, energy, and money. Because when you have a system, you don't have to try to figure it out. You know that it's already been figured out. You can just plug into a successful system and have the opportunity to have the same success that others have had using that same system. But also you want a community. You want to be around people that are cheering on your success, that want you to be successful. And that's what we have here at Legal Shield. When you think about generating income, most people are used to one type of income in their life, and that is linear income. And linear income is simply changing time for dollars. I think you probably would understand it in your job as you give your workplace 40 hours per week, maybe more. In exchange, they're going to give you 20 or 25, $30 an hour, right? And that's an exchange, that's linear income. However, what a lot of people don't have in their lives is leveraged income. And leveraged income means that your entire income is not solely based on what you personally do, but you're able to leverage the success of others as well. So when you think about leveraged income, one of the industries that comes to mind is real estate. In real estate, you have agents and brokers. If you're a real estate agent, you can sell a house, list a house, you get paid. But if you're a real estate broker, you can still sell and list houses and get paid, but you can build an agency of agents that are out selling and listing houses. And every time someone in your office is making that sale, you're getting an override. You're leveraging yourself. So your income is not just dependent on what you personally did this month. But a third type of income is residual income. That means doing something one time, but getting paid over and over and over again. So when you think about residual income, you might think about, for example, an insurance agent who, has been, working with your policy for the last 20 years. You may have gone in their office once or twice, but now they just keep doing those renewals every 6 months, and they keep getting paid that residual income on that policy. So a lot of people experience one type of income, a few experience both, very few experience all three types of income. But that's what we have here at Legal Shield, the ability to earn income in three different ways. And we're going to quickly talk about these areas today: the company, the product, the need, the compensation, and the timing. And I promise you over the next 15 minutes, to keep the information short, but also very valuable to help you make a great decision in understanding what these services provide for your family and what this opportunity can mean for you and your family. But first, let's just talk quickly about the company. Legal Shield was started with an accident. This gentleman you see in the picture, Harlan Stonecipher, was in an auto accident in 1969, And as a result of that auto accident, he learned a few things. He learned that he had life insurance had he not made it through the accident. He learned that he had health insurance to take care of his health bills because of the accident. He learned that he had auto insurance to cover the car after the accident. What he wasn't prepared for were the legal ramifications of that accident, where he was actually sued in 1969, and it cost him $35,000 in today's money. $3,500 back then, but in today's money, they'd be about $35,000 to defend himself in that lawsuit. And so, again, he thought there's got to be a better way for people to have access to the legal services when they need it. And that's why Legal Shield was established in 1972. And today we protect and empower approximately 4.5 million lives all across the United States and Canada. So for those of you looking at Legal Shield for the very first time, we already have been in business for 54 years and we already protect over 4.5 million lives in North America. Our vision is provide equal access to the liberty, equality, opportunity, and justice that every human deserves. So let's take a look at our services and what makes Legal Shield so special. When you think about disruptors out there in the marketplace, you think of companies like Amazon, who disrupted and changed the way people shop for goods. You think of people like companies like Spotify, Apple Music, who changed the way that we subscribe to music. In the same way, Legal Shield has changed the way that people think about legal services when they need access to an attorney. Because if any of these things have ever happened to you, Legal Shield or ID Shield would be a huge benefit in your life. If you've ever thought about writing or revising your will or your living will, your healthcare directive, if you've ever been notified your personal information was compromised, if you've ever just been treated unfairly and said, hey, let me speak to your supervisor, maybe you've been a victim of identity theft, signed a contract you didn't understand, received a traffic ticket, had insurance claim denied, or maybe you had your identity stolen or had questions about that. These are all legal and ID Shield type questions that we can assist with. So let's talk about the services briefly before we get into the opportunity so you know exactly what it is, the value that we bring to the marketplace. First of all, when you think about our preferred legal plan, the number one word that should come to mind is the word access. Most people don't have access to the legal system. I'll tell you who does have access to the legal system, people with a great deal of money because they're used to using attorneys on a regular basis because it just helps them make smart business decisions. But the average American, middle income American, wasn't raised to contact an attorney every time they need to make a decision. And with Legal Shield, you don't have to think about how much it's going to cost you to pick up the phone and talk to someone. You can put the money part of the decision out of the way and just say, would this decision be helped if I could get some sound legal advice? And then you can pick up the phone and contact an attorney as often as you need to about any legal situations that may come up. Now, this preferred legal plan is going to cover you, your spouse, and any of your children up to 26 living at home or going to college anywhere in North America. So to be able to pick up the phone, talk to an attorney, get your questions answered, but then also when the situation arises where you need a letter or phone call made on your behalf, the attorneys will do that for you as well at no additional cost. Or getting your contracts and documents reviewed up to 25 pages in length. My son is in the middle of buying a home right now. And so he's already been able to talk to the attorney about the offer that he was going to present, have them review the offer letter before he submitted it. Now the attorneys are reviewing some additional documents in regards to the mortgage on the home to make sure that he knows exactly what he's signing. And there's just a little bit of peace of mind, a lot of peace of mind that comes from signing something that someone else, a professional, has already reviewed and walked through with you so you know exactly what it is that you're signing. When it comes to letters and phone calls, I had a situation come up a few years ago where I was flying the family to Hawaii on vacation. And the airline stranded us at the Las Vegas airport during the connection for about 16 hours because of a mechanical issue on the plane. It wasn't weather related. I can understand if it was weather related, but it wasn't. It was a mechanical issue. And I thought the airline should do something for us because it was a whole day at the airport, missed a day of our vacation, missed an excursion, all the things we had planned. Got home, called my attorney, explained, first of all, I got home and called the airline, explained that what had happened, and was basically told they were sorry that it happened to me, but there was nothing they could do about it. Then I made a phone call to my attorney, and they wrote a letter to the same airline that told me there was nothing they could do about it. But when they got a letter from my attorney, they apologized in a letter to me about 11 days later and sent me 4 free tickets to use anywhere in North America as a result of having my attorney write the letter. So I received about $2,500 worth of tickets from this airline because my attorney wrote the letter as opposed to me doing it. That one letter paid for my membership for about 10 years. So again, you get immense value out of being a Legal Shield member. We're also going to help you with residential loan document review, as I just mentioned, with my son going through his home closing. Or if you're renting an apartment, renting a house, we can help with residential tenant lease assistance as well. We're going to help you with your estate planning by preparing your wills, your living wills, your healthcare directive, all included in your membership for you and your spouse, and updated every year at no additional cost. If you receive a traffic ticket anywhere in North America, you can have an attorney actually represent you in traffic court. And the only thing that you're going to have to pay is a one-time $79 fee for the appearance of the attorney. But that means if you're in Florida and you get a traffic ticket in Ohio, even 1,500 miles away, you can have an attorney in that court, in that jurisdiction, go to court for you, so that you don't have to travel back to do that, and hopefully keep the points off your record. And I've just always found having an attorney represent me in those situations, a lot better things happen than me trying to do it personally. We're also going to help you with things like e-signature, property damage assistance. And then these don't apply to everybody, but let me quickly go through them. Things like uncontested name change, uncontested adoption, post-nup, prenup, uncontested separation or uncontested divorce, and even civil trial defense if you're named in a civil lawsuit. Which means if you're sued, you have both pretrial and trial hours available to you to help with that lawsuit. We're also going to help you with IRS audits and even give you access 24/7 to your attorney for emergency reasons. Sometimes bad things happen to good people, and they don't always happen between, Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. So if you find yourself in a situation where you need to talk to your attorney in an emergency reason, you have access. You get in a car accident at 1 o'clock in the morning, they're asking you to give a statement, you have access to your attorney 24/7 for emergency reasons. And then anything outside of your membership that we didn't talk about, you're going to receive a 25% discount off any other legal matters that you may need assistance with. And so all the things we just talked about are 100% covered by your membership. Anything outside of that, you can still receive a 25% discount. On top of that, we have another membership called ID Shield. And ID Shield does what you would expect it to do. It monitors everything that's important to you. It monitors your credit score, your social security number, your passport, your driver's license, public court records. You have your email, date of birth, medical ID, your username, and even social media monitoring. So we're going to monitor every area of your life that matters. But just know that even the best monitoring alert systems out there won't prevent identity theft. They're just going to alert you to the fact that you've been a victim of identity theft. And that's why it's so important that when you're a victim of identity theft, that you have a program like ID Shield, which will do full service restoration, which means that we are going to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes to restore your identity to its pre-theft status. And that includes a $3 million identity fraud protection plan. So this is all included as part of your ID Shield membership, full monitoring, full restoration. And then we're also going to include some additional services that a lot of our members find very valuable, such as a password manager, a VPN, Trend Micro for your mobile devices, and even privacy management so that we can help you remove your information from some of those online data brokerages who are selling your information to others. And we can help you remove your information from those sites as well. Now, the ID Shield plan for an individual is $19.95 per month. For a family, $34.95 per month. So if you take that legal plan, $39.95, you take the ID Shield family plan, $34.95, combine those together, you have $74.90 if you would like to have both of those coverages for your family. When you're a member of Legal Shield or ID Shield or both, you also have access to Member Perks, which is a perks program that we have for our members that we've teamed up with over 400 of the biggest retailers in North America to provide you discounts at a lot of these places that you're already spending money. And I've heard it before from many of our members that they're actually able to save more money with member perks every year than their membership even cost them. So take advantage of our member perks program so you can get those discounts just for being a Legal Shield or ID Shield member. So we've talked about the company, we've talked about the services, we've talked about the incredible timing of where we are right now. And I think we would all agree that our access to our legal rights is more important today than it's ever been before. And so let's talk about how we can turn these services into an incredible opportunity for you and your family. Again, most of our associates start on a part-time basis, able to generate some additional extra part-time income, and you're able to generate extra income four different ways. One, every time you personally enroll a member, you're going to get paid a 12-month advance commission. Every time you have the ability to go out and build a team anywhere in North America, that anyone in your organization that markets a membership, every time they market a membership, you can earn an override, that leveraged income we talked about before. We get paid residual income. I mentioned we get paid a 12-month advance commission, but what about month 13, month 14, month 50, month 100, month 200? Every month they keep the membership forever. For the lifetime of the membership, you continue to get paid a percentage of what we originally paid you as a residual income. And then the fourth way we get paid is through our bonus programs. We have several different bonus programs. We'll highlight just a couple of them tonight. But when you look at the commission structure on our 7490 plan, you look at that middle column, and that middle column represents what you personally get paid when you enroll a member. So in this example, like I mentioned, this is just an example of our 7490 plan. You would start at the associate level, and you'd get paid an $82 advance commission when you enroll that member. Now, I don't know about you, but I like a company that pays me more money than I sent to them, right? So you send us 7490, the member sends us 7490 for that first month, we're sending you back 82. Every step of our compensation structure that you go, you continue to get paid more and more for every personal sale that you make. So for example, when you advance to senior associate, now you're getting paid 103, at manager 136, at senior manager 183, at director 253. And you can see it goes all the way to $427 here. Let me stop at director for a second. The reason I stop at director is because all the way to director, once you hit a commission level, you can never fall back. So if you're a director with us, you're never going to get paid senior manager or manager. That's what makes it such a great part-time business, is that you do a little bit on a part-time basis, and eventually you start accumulating these different levels, and you can never fall back. So you continuously get paid at those levels or higher every time you personally enroll a membership. Now, what actually got me started in the business was when I saw at manager $136. I realized if I was personally enrolling 4 or 5 memberships per month, I could generate an extra $500-$600 per month. And that's what I needed to make on a part-time basis when I first got started. But then you see the overrides. The overrides are the difference between your commission level and where the membership was sold. So, for example, if you're a director earning $253 when you personally make a membership sale, and you have someone as a manager on your team making $136, that manager makes a membership sale, they made $136, they're super excited. You received 70 plus 47, $117 override on that membership sale. Well, what if your team did 10 membership sales this month and you were getting $117 per member? That'd be over $1,000 in overrides that you could earn as your team goes out and has success in the business as well. So you can get paid personally when you personally enroll a member. You can get paid overrides every time someone in your organization, not just the people that you sign up in the organization, but every single person that they enroll in the organization as well, you have the ability to earn overrides on that business as well. And then as I mentioned, year 2, all of these numbers you're seeing here, whether you personally enrolled a member or it was an override, you get 20% of those numbers again in a residual income year 2, and then 10% year 3, 10% year 4, 10% year 5. So for the lifetime of the membership, whatever you originally paid, that first year you get 10% of that again every year for the lifetime of the membership. We have some incredible bonuses as well. You'll see on the left-hand side, when you achieve senior associate in your first 30 days, you receive a $200 bonus on top of the commissions you've earned. And when you go manager in your first 45 days, you receive a $400 bonus. So some great bonuses at senior associate and manager. And then we have a program called Performance Club where you do just a little bit of activity on a monthly basis, and you can earn between $200 and $500 per month in a Performance Club check, just for doing a little bit of consistent business on a monthly basis. And when you go to our training, we have a program called Fast Start. You go to our Fast Start training, we're going to teach you exactly how you can earn these Performance Club bonuses every single month. And when you hit leadership levels, you can even receive matching bonuses on the bonuses received in your organization. Now, you also see some incredible trips. You might say, what does that have to do with a dolphin on the video on the screen here? We take some incredible trips. Matter of fact, just last week, we were in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, all expense paid trip to the Hard Rock there. It was an amazing resort. And we took 800 people, all expenses paid, to the Hard Rock in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, as part of our Performance Club incentive trip program. So you'll learn more about our incentive trips, but every year we take an incredible incentive trip. And like I mentioned, we just took 800 people to the Dominican Republic for an incredible trip last week. Tonight I touched on a few things. I touched on our legal plan, Legal Shield, ID Shield, but also understand we have programs for small business owners to help them protect and grow their small business. You can offer this as a group employee benefit to their employees. We have over 40,000 companies that currently offer Legal Shield and ID Shield as a group benefit. We have a commercial truck drivers plan for over-the-road truck drivers. And then we even have some supplements that fit a specific need of legal services, such as legal gun owners, home business owners, people that own home businesses, rideshare drivers like Uber and Grubhub, specific industries that we also service with our add-ons. So I talked about these 5 areas briefly tonight: the company, the product, the tremendous need in the marketplace, our incredible compensation plan, but really it's all about the timing. I mentioned earlier, I think we would all agree that when it comes to your legal rights, there has never been a better time to talk to people about how to access their legal rights than right now. People need access for everyday issues. Again, people say, well, who do we talk to about Legal Shield? We talk to everyday Americans that just lead normal lives. We're not talking about people that have all kinds of legal issues, although we can help them as well. But if you're just out there renting an apartment, buying a house, buying an appliance, signing a contract, you need your estate planning done, your wills, your living wills, your healthcare directive, you get a traffic ticket. All of these things happen to people every day, but people don't think about calling an attorney because it costs $300 or $400 an hour. But Legal Shield changes all of that. So how do you become an associate with us and get your business started? Well, first of all, you can get started for a one-time fee of only $99. So if you love what you heard today, for a one-time fee of $99, you can start as an associate, then also get enrolled as a member. And this allows you to work your business on your own schedule. It's a willable book of business to your children, your grandchildren. And right away, we're going to get you locked into a Fast Start training class where we're going to teach you step by step the system. Remember, I started this presentation by talking about the system and how if you have a system, you don't have to know how to do this business. You just need to know how to plug into the system. Well, that's what we teach you in the Fast Start training class. We're a 54-year-old company, so we have developed an amazing system that allows you to plug in. And when you do that, it gives you the ability to go out and generate the income that we talked about just a little bit earlier. So what are the steps to getting started? Well, number one, get started as a member. That's first and foremost. Hopefully you see the opportunity, but whether or not you see the opportunity, become a member. Get access to your legal rights, get back to the person that invited you to look at this Zoom presentation, and get started with us as a legal and ID Shield member. But if you see the opportunity, become an associate. We'd love to have you on board. We're doing so much expansion right now. The company is growing every single year. We're growing, and especially the last couple of years, we've seen an explosion of growth in the company. We welcome you on board to become an associate. And I didn't mention this earlier, but one of the wonderful things about Legal Shield is that we get paid every day. Anytime, any day that you have business to be paid on. Now, you have to do the work to get paid, right? But if you have business to be paid on, we pay every day. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if the day ends in a Y, we send out direct deposits. So you have the ability to get paid every single day. And as you build a team, that even becomes more prevalent as you have overrides coming in as well. So what a great cash flow business. So get started as a member, get started as an associate. Let's get you plugged into our Fast Start training program. So again, next steps, please get back to the person that invited you to take a look at this information. Get your questions answered, and then that person can take 3 or 4 minutes with you and easily get you enrolled as a member and an associate. Appreciate you taking the opportunity to take a look at the information, and we look forward to having you join the Legal Shield family.